Hello today we're going to have a game of Havoc on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. I'm guessing this is the 1 to 8K version. Right, now I have reviewed this on the Amstrad CPC and Commodore 64. The Amstrad CPC version was shit. The Commodore 64 version was alright actually. Right, so looks pretty much the same as the CPC because I reckon this version got ported to the CPC. It's got the hallmarks of it, except for this has got more colour. Okay, so the Americans. Now we're not flying none of these planes, by the way. I think we've got to blow them up or something. Right, take me back to them. They're the Russians. Right, can you take me back to the menu now, please? Right, can I go back to the menu, please? So yeah, this sounds like the 1 to 8K version because you can hear the music. Music sounds alright actually. Right, here we go. So we can redefine our keys. So Q, OP, QA, fire space, select weapon, return. You can do that, or enter. Right, you can use more keys on this than you can on the CPC version. Some of the CPC version wouldn't let you use certain keys. Okay, so if you push 3, you can either be American or Russian, or might as well be American, eh? 4 is easy or hard, and let's push 0, and away we go. Yes, this got ported to the CPC, and as I expected, this is a lot faster. Controls are no way as well, they're not laggy at all. So immediately, this is better than the CPC version. But the question is it as good as the Commodore 64 version? Because that weren't bad. That had only one flaw though. I couldn't figure out the button to choose weapons. At least I know what it does in this one. Right, so you can choose. Oh, that looks a lot more clearer on the Spectrum over the CPC version. I could hardly see it on the CPC version. So at least that one's a lot more clearer. Right. Okay. So you carry on where you leave off. So. Right. Oh. So they're heat sinkers, I think. So at least I know how to change the weapon, and like the CPC version, you can go side to side. Because obviously the screen limitation. Now I didn't notice that radar thing on the CPC version. That bit was missing. Oh, game over. Right, okay. So this is certainly much more playable than the CPC version. Right, 0 to start. It's a lot faster. As I said, the controls are good. Now, I would say the Commodore 64 version was easier because you had a lot more screen and the sprites were smaller. But I do like the graphics on here. I do like the helicopter better on here. But I think what does it, the Commodore 64 had a lot more playing area. I think it made it a little bit more enjoyable. Even though I couldn't work out the key to change the weapon. I mean, this is alright. This is alright. Now, as far as I know, this only come out on the main 3 8-bit systems, say the Amstrad CPC, Commodore 64 and ZX Spectrum. Now, people might argue, well, what about the BBC? Isn't that a main system, or the MSX and other 8-bit systems? Well, if you think it's a main system, that's up to you. But I always thought the 3 main systems were the CPC, well, I should say Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum and CPC. Because I think they had the most amount of software or games produced on them systems. But I could be wrong. You know, I always say that because I didn't really know too much about the BBC or other 8-bit computers, to be honest with you. All I know about the BBC was at school. MSX I've never ever played on. Same with the Dragon 32. And pretty much all the other 8-bit systems. Never even heard of the Oryx before when I was a kid. I always thought an Oryx was a fucking vacuum cleaner. I know there's others like the Sand Coupe. I've mentioned that. Commodore 16 was another one I'm not familiar with. I've never played on the Commodore 16. Played on VIC-20. Yeah, I'm not doing very well at this. I think I do prefer the Commodore 64 version. As I said, you had a lot more playing area. And the sprites were a little bit more smaller, so it was more easier. Let's have another go. But this is certainly better than the CPC version. But it's a budget title, so you only would have been paying $2.99 for this. So yeah, it's well worth $2.99. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they could have made, if they had that HUD or that all that score and all that stuff, maybe at the bottom of the screen. Because that does, maybe they could have had a bigger screen. I don't know. Because I think the sprites are quite big for the playing area. I think that's the only problem. Yeah, it is a little bit tricky. It is a little bit tricky, but it's not bad, you know, it's not bad. Graphics look good. I do prefer the graphics on here over the Commodore 64, to be honest with you. They look more like helicopters on here. And yeah, but I do prefer the Commodore 64, like, because it had a bigger screen. The graphics were slightly smaller, but I couldn't work out the fucking button to change the weapon. That was the only problem. But this ain't bad. It ain't bad. Could have been, as I said, they could have made the screen possibly bigger. You know. Yeah, it's alright though. Anyway, going to end this now. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, and goodbye.